one. Let's see if I can count. Alright. Well, there we go. Went up to 13. Okay. Hello everyone, it's the Gray Goose, and today on our random Black Wednesday, we ended up drawing Esper. So I haven't had an Esper deck tech on this channel yet, I don't think, so I went with traditional control. I would want to play Esper Control in historic because there's more powerful cards for it there. However, with certain meta decks still running rampant like Field of the Dead, control doesn't fare the greatest, let's just put it that way. Tomorrow the new patch is going to be released where they're suspending certain cards, like a ban really, for certain cards like Field of the Dead, Oko, and Historic. So I'll make a video on that tomorrow. It'll be an extra video, but in the meantime, we're Esper, we're standard. Let me tell you about this standard control deck, and then we'll get right into the gameplay. First up, we kind of got a creature package because this is focused around Command the Dreadhorde. This is more of a proactive Esper control deck than a reactive type. You have your creatures such as Charming Prince. Charming Prince is just great overall versus aggro with the life gain he gives, a 2/2 body. Plus he's great at scrying in that clutch moment you need that certain colored land or whatever. Plus also the fact that he can bounce something of yours, a creature, and bring it back into the battlefield and trigger the ETB effect. With a deck built around Command the Dreadhorde, you know you're going to have some creatures with ETBs that are pretty good value, including our next one. Bibblethip the Lost, just a 2 of, but he's basically a cantrip. As soon as you put him down, he replaces himself. If you put him down, he pays for himself. And you can double that up with the Charming Prince. 2 of Murderous Riders. Murderous Riders just too good of a utility card. It can take out any creature or planeswalker your opponent controls. Plus he's a body with some life link. Once again, in a Command the Dreadhorde deck, you're looking to try and keep your life total as high as possible for as long as possible. 4 of Basilica Bellhaunt. The 3/4 bodies usually pretty decent enough, except for the biggest of creatures. You discard a card from your opponent while gaining you life, so that's exactly what you want in a control matchup. Have card advantage, plus getting your life up for Command the Dreadhorde. 4 of Elite Guard Mage. These guys are your flyers. 2/3 body isn't super great, but it can be sometimes all that you need to get in a little chip damage on a planeswalker. You can go over your opponent, for example. Plus he draws you a card, gains you life. Once again, another great target for Charming Prince or Command the Dreadhorde. Last but not least, you have Mr. Kenrith. Kenrith is great, and even though you only get 3 of the 5 activations on his body, they're all really good. The 2 and a white gets you 5 life, 3 and a blue, drawing a card's great, and 4 and a black, if you get to the point where you're late enough in a game, as you'll see in one of the videos, it's basically like a mini Command the Dreadhorde. You could bring your own target creature back from the graveyard, trigger its ETB, all for the cost of 4 and a black. If you have them on the board and you have tons of mana, that's insane value. If you have 4 Teferi Time Raveler, he's just too good of a planeswalker not to play, and he's kind of low to the ground too, so great on tempo, great on shutting certain decks out if you keep them alive on the board. Plus a lot of your creatures with the ETBs they have, you put them down, bounce it back, you get another ETB from that same creature. Lots of value and synergy there as well. 2 of Tyrant Scorn. They're just good at getting rid of the small creatures, even big creatures who come down, such as Hydroid Krasis. And then also you can bounce back something big in a pinch if you need to as well. So for sorceries, we have Thought Erasure, 2 of in the main board. They're good at just seeing what your opponent's up to. Also surveilling early on in the game can really help to find that land you might need. 3 of Kaya's Wrath in the main board. There's a lot of creature-based decks out there now. Enough said. Plus, if you have bodies on the board, you can Wraith it to ensure you get a good Command the Dreadhorde too. Command the Dreadhorde, 3 of. This deck is based around that. It's a 6 CMC with 2 black, so it's a late game card, so you want to be setting it up throughout your whole match to try and hit that one clutch Command the Dreadhorde, and that's usually all it takes in any given match to end it if it goes through. 2 of Planner Cleansing. With all the different enchantments and artifacts out there these days, not to mention various planeswalkers and tons of creatures, this just says goodbye to everything. And once again, with the board clears with the Wraith effects, even if they kill your creatures, having the Command the Dreadhorde means you get to bring a bunch back. And with the enter the battlefield triggers giving you a lot of life generally, if it takes you down low casting the spell, with the enter the battlefield triggers, you'll go back up in health too. So for lands, we have 26. We only have one castle, and that's a Castle Ardenvale. It's just to get a body on the board. I would almost consider potentially changing that one Castle Ardenvale to a Castle Vantress. But overall, this is a very mana-hungry deck. So you really won't get too many opportunities to use your mana in such a way. Ideally, you would want to be pumping your mana into Kenrith. For sideboard options, we have a Disenchant. Once again, there's just so many artifacts and enchantments out there. Certain decks that primarily synergize against that. Fires of Invention, sacrifice decks with the Witch's Oven or the Trail of Crumbs. Even Embercleave, it's an instant spell, so you can hit that immediately should that come down and they try and threaten lethal. Devout Decree, there's a lot of black and red overall, so that's good. It exiles and it scries for you. You have Aether Gust, a lot of red, a lot of green out there as well. So once again, that's good. Just a tempo swing. You send them back either a whole turn or just so far back that they have to tuck it to the bottom and say goodbye to it. Two more of Thought Erasure. Certain slower decks you're playing up against, you want to pinpoint their exact cards, their value cards that you get rid of while you maintain your own and surveil up to what you need. Four of Disdainful Stroke. So these are the only counters in our deck, and they're very powerful. They're 2 CMC to block anything that's 4 CMC or higher. So it doesn't hit a lot of things, but the things that it does hit, you don't want to hit the board at all. Casualties of War, Nissa, a huge Crisis. You don't counter the card gain or the life gain, but you get the body off the board if you need. Cavalier of Thorns, Cavalier of Flames, Fires of Invention. There's plenty that are 4 or more in this meta. One of Ethereal Absolution. I think that's a great one of for certain sacrifice decks. You got your Cats or Adventures decks. You got your Edgewall Innkeepers. Things such as those. One Cry of the Carnarium. Once again, good for the lower to the ground decks, especially those that are trying to get multiple triggers of graveyard back to the battlefield type deal, like with the Cats. 2 of Kaya Orzhov Usurper. This is really great against sacrifice decks in particular. The Cats are 1 CMC. The Witch's Ovens are 1 CMC. Food tokens are 1 CMC or less. Gilded Goose. So a lot of targets in the sacrifice combo Kaya can hit. Not to mention, if you start exiling a ton of things, she becomes a massive engine to deal damage. But also primarily, if you +1 and exile creatures from the graveyard, you're gaining life, which you need a ton of in Command the Dreadhorde decks. If you guys are interested in seeing more random deck gameplay each day with random colors, please like and subscribe. I make a video every day. If you guys like seeing random deck videos with random colors, if you guys like seeing random color deck build videos every day, please like and subscribe. Catch you guys tomorrow. Alright, so we're on the play here. Go first. Thought Erasure turn 2 to Surveil. I'm gonna keep it, hitting us hopefully into our 3rd land, and then we get to kind of pop off afterwards. Okay, so who we up against? More Simic, it appears. What kind though? Yeah. Have to get rid of the Crisis. Close the Duplicate's pretty scary too. Sure, that's our 4th land. This is that Elemental Simic Ramp deck. I think someone played in the Mythic Championship recently. He's getting the ramp out pretty good here. I'm gonna go ahead and +1 our Mr. Teferi.
Right on schedule.
Getting him out early is decent, I guess. Against this kind of deck, you can bounce back anything you want. The problem is, if he misses next turn, then he can start slamming. He's debating putting something down. Maybe it's a Risen Reef, because that would be a difficult target to want to bounce. Wow. Alright. So he's not gonna like seeing that. We're getting closer to Planner Cleansing if we need it. want to get some value, real value out of Teferi though. One good bounce. So he has 5 mana. I was gonna say that could be another subpar Krasis. So what? I already got rid of 1, right? Yep. So he's already out of total of 3 of his. I mean, I'm okay with this. I'm okay with holding off. I'm also okay with being done drawing lands. You don't want any more lands, okay? Make sure you grab your 3rd for the planar cleansing that's about to happen. Oh, I don't want to do this with Teferi on the board, but they're just about to go crazy here, I think. So I can bounce one of my own guys back. He'll swing in with the 3/3, I think. Just the 3/3. I'm gonna quasi-duplicate it. Alright, so he's afraid. Can you blame him? So we're starting to get some value from Mr. Teferi here. And yeah. This looks good. Go ahead and stop drawing lands like I said. A blue or a black? Black it up. What do we don't want to see? How about Cavalier of Thorns? Another Teferi seems good. Alright, no attacks. To hold back a little bit more. He's gonna be out of options here soon. He doesn't even have his Castle Vantress to scry with all this land. And we know he only has 1 more Krasis in the deck, so... Oh me, oh my. The unfortunate thing with the Grazers, I can't start trying to chip in with damage either. Let's Temple of Silence first. That's a good one to have. I think this is greedy, but I've already gotten so much value out of the Teferi. If he ends up dying, like, I'm not gonna be super salty. Look at that though. Woo! So next turn I could double Basilica? Is that right? Alright. Put him down. And since he since that's a sorcery, you can't like put that out right now or whatever. So now that's a jump started card. You can still technically play it, but he would have to discard a card to play it. Guy's flooding out so hard. Oh boy. Where's my Command the Dreadhorde? I had to push so hard for that. He's waiting for that one massive Krasis he has left in the deck. I mean, I guess I'm okay to just chill. Swing in actually next with the 3/4. We can start chump blocking or just taking it to the face. Okay. So that means he's on a clock though. He's on the clock for sure. Leafkin. Whatever. I think he's gonna start sacking Leafkins. Right. He is waiting for the biggest Krasis known to man. I think he should give the matchup here. I mean, what do you want me to do here, fam?
Together we will prevail.
You gonna push through with everything? So, if he swings in for 3, I do not care, right? And I think he's going to. He sees it as the one opportunity. Right. So we'll get rid of one of his 3/3s. That's fine. Barry's still alive. And then he just murders Ryder. Okay. Hey, there it is. Well. Okay, so yeah. I might wait till the end of this turn there. You know what would be really degenerate? Yeah. We're gonna give that a whirl. Swing in with one of the Basilica. See what he does. Takes 3 to the face. Fine. Sack a Leafkin. Fine. Yes, look at all your lands. That's not gonna help you though. Okay. Get rid of the flying guy. Yep. So this Dreadhorde is gonna be massive. Yes, it is. Okay.
Strange and magnificent world. Be wary of the ground you walk on.
Alright, you ready for some instant speed? Alright. I think the play, honestly, with all these blockers he has, is just to go ahead and wipe him. And we bring some big boys out. So we're at 30. We are at 30, 26, 22, 19, 15, 11, 6, 1. Let's see if I can count.
This isn't a fight.
Alright. Well, there we go. Went up to 13. Okay. Go ahead and do a Swampy.
The land fights for us.
Seems good. Get rid of that one. Boop him back.
That's more like it.
Temple up, do a little scry. That was the wrong ordering because of Fabled, but I'll just hold it back. That's fine. And Murderous Rider. Okay. So let's see how he gets through all this. Big Hydroid Crisis won't be enough. Not even that big though. Yes, your Nissa betrayed you. The Simic Elemental Ramp. He unfortunately just, his early Hydroid Crisis weren't a good call. Probably the Carnarium, one of, seems fine enough. I'll keep 2 Disdainful Stroke, 2 Aether Gusts. I'm not going to try and change this up too much. I will get rid of Fibblethip and the Charming Prince though. Alright, so we're on the draw. We have 3 in hand here. A decent amount with the Disdainful Stroke and an early game tempo. They mulled down to 6. I want to scry though for something that's going to help me turn 4 or less. These are good late game cards. But holding this and this in the opening hand feels good too. Overall, a decent smattering. He's going down to 6. We'll see what he ends up playing here. 5. Wow. Okay. So he doesn't want to have a repeat of last match where he just had the Elementals and Crisis in his opening hand. Guard Mage. Guard Mage is a good turn 4, but I still have to guarantee that 4th land more than anything first. Tyrant Scorn can take care of anything he puts down here. If it was like a Leafkin Druid, I probably would have held for a Crisis coming down or a Risen Reef. If I knew he was mana screwed, which he has not. So he's getting a little bit of ramp going. At this rate, an instant. Okay. Put it down. If he plays something 4 mana here, but what does he even have for 4 mana? But otherwise, I can kill whatever he puts down. Did he put in some Frilled Mystics or something? I don't know. Okay. So that doesn't let it hit the board, but I'm okay with him hitting the board. Then Tyrant Scorning. I want to save this for something bigger. But he's going off early with the Hydroid Crisis again, so. I think what I'm going to do is just hold. I learned from last match that just hold. When he's this high up and he hasn't played any small stuff, likely he might be trying just for a biggie, which he's not gonna. Okay. I can hold for one more turn, no problem. Maybe it's a Growth Spiral. But next turn I'll be able to Teferi and Disdainful. Alright. So he's holding as well. Question becomes, I think I'm going to do this and hold back for a Disdainful Stroke. He's got Castle Vantress. No matter what I do here, okay, nice. No matter what I do here, he's going to be able to scry up and look for something that he wants. So once again, I'm going to hold for Disdainful Stroke. I don't have near enough creatures in graveyards and planeswalkers and stuff, I think, really, to do a Command the Dreadhorde. Kenrith coming down would be good. Depends what he does here. Did he even Vantress? I wasn't paying attention. Alright, so that's a good one to counter. I might just concede right here, though. I mean, that's dirty to get rid of his land. Kind of mean to him. But guaranteeing a Kenrith down. So Esper colors, it's 3, 4, 5 life card graveyard. And that's only under its owner's control. And I didn't graveyard anything yet, unfortunately. This is good. Let me attack first. The time to see what his last card is. I feel like that card has not been consistent enough for you that first match. You probably should have took it out, dude. Alright, so we smash in a little bit more. We get all Hefe down, I guess. Yep. So I could bounce back to Basilica or something, but I don't see the point. Anything that he draws next turn, he's immediately going to be able to play it one way or the other, so. Yeah, I'm just going to +1 him.
I'll protect you.
Hold on to this Tyrant Scorn extra tight. He gets a big Crisis off. I mean, how much health would he get? 2? Still wouldn't be out of reach. That'd be game even if he gets a Crisis here. It's just game. He got too greedy, or like his mana base, his deck is just not built right. Okay. Oh, hey, there's a Risen Reef. Not as satisfying as the Dreadhorde finish. Alright, so Esper Control got a pretty decent early game with the Scry here. We'll keep 7. We're 1 off from Kaya's Wrath. We don't know what we're up against. He mulled down to 6. Little Temple first turn, then Swamp it looks like. Okay. So Command, that's just way too late game to have this early. Maybe Golgari Adventures or full type potentially something. So let's scry it up. I would like to get a blue. A blue, please. Yeah, no. Come on, blue. Edgeball Innkeeper? Okay. I could force a blue, but come in slow anyways, right? It's actually a decent turn 4. I'm gonna attack because I think he's gonna be using that mana to cast something next turn. And depending on what it is, I might just Kaya's Wrath. I'm hoping I don't have to Kaya's Wrath so I can Fibblethip, Charming Prince, Fibblethip. Oh my. Hey, it's cats. Actually, I haven't seen cats in a little bit. What a glorious day. So now the question becomes, do I go ahead and Kaya's Wrath? And I think I do. Let me go ahead and attack first. See what happens. Okay. So I wonder, he's gonna wait till the end of the turn. So the Paradise dies, the Gilded Goose dies. Those are good things to get rid of, right? Good enough, I think. I think I'm just gonna do it. Start getting things in graveyards for potential Command the Dreadhorde as well. The cat comes back but burns the food potentially here. The cat's gonna have to put in a lot of work though to get me down from 19. Okay. So I'm glad I kept this. So he's gonna sack his land to get 1 damage. Alright. So he's gonna be up to 4 mana. Play Vraska, all sorts of shenanigans here. He could play a Corvold technically if he has a land. But nope, we got a Vraska.
Only a fool stands in my way.
Alright. So we have to scry here. We have to land a blue. Thank you. Do I want Kenrith? I don't think Kenrith is bad to have here. I want the blue first though. Makes it food, brings the cat back. Okay. I'm getting close to Command the Dreadhorde. So I just want bodies hitting the battlefield. Let me go ahead and swing in and see what happens. Yep. Okay. The Goose can't make a food yet. We know it's going to be Kenrith, but that's fine. Gain a little bit of life, get a flyer. Gonna have to block and make a food next turn. Trying to thin out his land so he hits something good here. He's got 2 cards. What are they? Murderous Rider. Down to 1. Corvold? Corvold would be scary. Nope, not Corvold.
Nothing else matters.
Jund it is. Alright. Let's go ahead, get rid of the Gilded Goose. Gonna tap it and make a food, bring the cat back. We attack with both here. We get in some chip damage on Vraska. She's getting close to ultimate, but I don't see how she could ultimate here. If he has a way of killing the elite guard mage and then blocking with the cat, then we could be close to done. But no. Alright, so we can chalk this in to pay for a Fibblethip, who will cantrip for himself. He'll draw another card. What will it be? Another land. So we're looking at potentially a Dreadhorde. Yeah.
Don't be surprised.
So she's just trying to get rid of the Vraska. Knows can't defend it, it looks like. So getting value as much as she can. Alright. The Fibblethip can come in and attack, but he's going to be blocked. The 2 Command the Dreadhorde here. That's spicy. Alright, so let's go ahead and swing towards the Vraska. Cat comes in, cat dies. Right? Okay. I think we have enough here to get a little value out of Command. I know I want him. That gets me to 8. 6. 4. 3. Okay. So he can hit the ground. He can hit the ground. He can hit the ground and charming. Alright, so he's trying to get loose with the goose.
The ends justify.
Alrighty. Draw a card. What do you get? He's got enough mana to play some here, I'm sure. Alright. Well, let's swing first. See what we end up with. Go ahead and get rid of that Vraska. There's no way he can block all these, so he's going to let it go through. And then Kenrith comes through as our late game value engine here. Another cat. Look at that. Alright, so how do we want to do this? We can bring him back. I think we just start smashing. Alright. Block the 5. Block the 1. So he's trying to drag it out. I guess I could have, maybe should have killed that first, but whatever. Get some life here, draw a card. I can draw a card with him again. We're going a little bit extra wide. I don't really know of many besides Massacre Girl that he could play that would get him even remotely close back in the match. Right. I'm gonna do this. You can't do any more food shenanigans with the goose. So it's all or nothing on this card here. Okay. So with command, or with casualties, right?
I can no longer stand by. No, I am not making this up.
That definitely sets me back, but it's not going to win him the game when I'm this far ahead. So we want Cry, we want Kaya's. The Disdainful Strokes are good for the casualties, the massacres. One Ethereal Absolution is actually absolutely crushing as well. The Exile, Disenchant, Aether. There's just so many good cards here. I'm getting rid of the whole Command the Dreadhorde package. I think I just got lucky on that one. Getting one less of the Planar Cleansing, one less of the Kaya's Wrath. I have other ways of dealing with his small stuff now, right? Let's do one less of Basilica. Basilica is going to get chump blocked quite a lot from the kitties. So we'll see how this goes. I feel good. I feel Jun's Sacrifice is quite powerful. But the sideboard I have against it is pretty strong as well. This looks like a decent opening hand. Once again, we're missing a blue. We're on the draw. We might just blow it up turn 1 and then have this turn 2 available for an Aether Gust, but I don't know if I need an Aether Gust that early. Yeah, let's go ahead and blue. And we're still, we're quite a few whites off from Kaya's Wrath and all that fun stuff. Alright, Trail of Crumbs coming down this early is actually pretty spooky. Alright, Thought Erasure, that's going to be a clutch one. So, Mayhem, Devil, Cat, Goose, whole combo there. He doesn't see my Thought Erasure, that's good. Both the Murderous Rider and the Teferi here are quite strong, so we'll see what he picks. Alright, let's see what he's up to, huh? What do you got? What do you got? Obviously not gonna let a Mayhem Devil come down with all that stuff. Basilica seems really good. Really good. The Scry here, but I just need to have a slow land come down so I can play a fast one next turn. 3, 4, 5. So next turn he will be able to play a Massacre Girl if he wants. I can Murderous it. It's gonna pass the turn completely, which is A. Okay. Oh, I can't yet because of the blue. That's unfortunate. What do I want here? Getting rid of our lands? That seems good. Alright, let's just pass. He's gonna make a food. So I'm pretty sure I'm making a white with this Fabled Passage. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna bump that back. So he has to cast it next turn if he wants to start getting value. So it's slowing him down is all. Resolve. Did he just put it on top and then resolve his Fabled Passage? I don't know what's going on here. I think he just hid his Trail of Crumbs from himself. Okay. Maybe I just got in between the on the stack play, so. Cool. He obviously can't massacre a girl if he doesn't land that extra 1 more mana. And I get to start messing with him here. Yes, I do. There goes 1 Massey. Normally these decks will run like 2 of. I think it's rare to see 3 or 4. So getting rid of this last one here is going to be insane. Whenever it comes down or whatnot. He's got food for days, so as soon as he gets his trail of crumbs or cat, whatever, the combo's online. Vraska to sacrifice them. But he knows I also have a Murderous Rider, so I think we just start getting value from Teferi at this point. I could still Murderous Rider something too. So this, if I push him back, he's gonna make but then he gets rid of 1 mana next turn and it comes in Summon 6, so this is the better play. If I target a food, he could always sacrifice it himself, and then I don't get the bounce
Might be a bad idea.
from Teferi. That's a good one to have. Really good. If he, yeah, that takes care of his Goose. So we're chipping away at some damage here. We have a Murderous Rider up. See if he's just gonna food and Goose. I think the later the game goes for Esper Control with Command the Dreadhorde and this sort of deck, it leans in my favor, not his. So, okay. If he doesn't do anything else here, I'm going to swing in first with Basilica. Actually, I could hold it back. He has enough for Massacre Girl, right? So we're doing this. I'm going to +1 to cast at instant speed.
Don't worry. I got this.
3, 6. Yeah. I don't need to shock that in. Start slowly trying to get even more value from this Teferi. But if he puts in another cheapo creature, Cry is immediately coming down. I think he's going to want Massacre Girl to come down regardless soon anyways, if these are kind of dead plays, because he needs a body on the board. Man, that was ballsy of him to play that. I'm actually kind of proud of him. Alright, let's get rid of the Goose. The Goose is gone. Okay, resolve. He is completely tapped out here of mana. Oh, he's not gonna like this.
I heard you had some dead things.
Let's start exiling things. 1 creature, 1 sorcery. I don't get these things back from Command the Dreadhorde, but it's fine.
Shuffling me off my mortal coil.
Do I put Hefe down, right? I think the answer is no. I want to wait to get value from the Murderous Rider, put him down, and then Teferi bounce him back potentially. So here we go. This is exactly what we wanted. Maybe I'm walking into a trap with Corvold or something, I don't know, but this seems good to me. Play him. Play him. Draw it up. What do I get? Mr. Kenny G. Once again, I don't need the Massacre Girl for Command the Dreadhorde. The rest. So I'm gaining health because I'm exiling a creature card. And she's ticking up. How many in exile? 5. I could deal 5 damage to him. Okay. We obviously can't let him stay alive. The question becomes, do I wraith at all or just single target? I don't know. Okay. Just keep going at this point. Try and thin out just one creature each time, unless you have to for a particular reason. That way you maximize your life gain. There we go. So he could food one here. Bounce him back. How many does he have in exile? 7? Oh no. This lets me get some life gain in, so I'm gonna swing. Swing it up. There we go. Another Kaya's Wrath. Kenrith's a big one to play here. Next turn. I used... Wow, that was my first Kaya's Wrath. I think I have 1 or 2 more, I think. So red or green?
I'm better at dodging.
See, I could start taking away his foods, which there's something to be said for that, right? He has 2 of these in the graveyard. I'm gonna exile just 1 creature. I gain 2 life, right?
Bravo.
Yep. I can drag that on for 1 more turn. So I can hit him for 8, but he's gaining life back. Okay. So 1, 2, 3. I could gain 5 life. So the problem is he has 3 freaking massacre girls. What a greedy person. So he has this dichotomy of these super cheap whatever cards, and then he has apparently 3 massacre girls, maybe 4. And casualties of war, probably Corvold. Let's see here. I could deal damage, but damage doesn't matter for Esper right now. Like it's about the slamming with the Command the Dreadhorde. I'm gonna shock this in either way. I'm good on life. It lets me be able to use this Aether Gust, and also lets me do 2 in a blue for gain 5 life. I can't block this Massacre Girl because she has Menace. I don't think I want to take the last creature out of the graveyard for Command the Dreadhorde. We're gonna exile the food. That significantly weakens him, and the reason I haven't yet is because he has so many. He can't use it. He doesn't have the mana.
Business to attend to anyway.
So if he plays something that's red or green, I can immediately just bounce it back, depending on how strong it is. Now he has enough mana that if I target it, he'll just sacrifice it anyways. And that will kill my Kaya. But it'll be burning through the food. Right now, that's the most important thing. I can draw 2 cards off Kenrith alone next turn. Okay. So we gain 5 life. This is just ensuring that when we get Command the Dreadhorde, we're gonna... Hey, there's a same thing of Kenrith. It's 3 in a blue. That's basically 3 in a blue to draw a card. And now we have Menace to be able to block him. Ooh, Castle Ardenvale. That comes in clutch too. So we're gonna try and protect Kaya again now. We'll go ahead and do this. Go ahead.
I'm gonna make myself scarce.
We're gonna hold back. If he casualties, that's pretty bad. He's only used one. And I guarantee you he has at least two. My turn. So I could put a 1/1 down, or I could draw a card. Drawing a card right now when I'm this low seems that much more powerful. It's at the end step, so he can't instant speed a Casualties of War.
Pack your bags and hit the road.
She's slowly ticking up. I have so much life that I don't have any creatures in the graveyard, unfortunately. I can swing in with Kenrith. How about that? Let's swing in with Ken Daddy. When it goes to the attack step, I simply make a dude, right? Make a freaking dude. Chuck this in, because Kenrith has so much I can sink all this mana into. Let's see what he does. She wants to swing in towards the Kaya. So duress, you know, that's unfortunate, but fine. So we're going to the attack step. So I'll make a 1/1. Alright. So, okay. This guy, I don't like his chances of winning. Why does it not let me do that? I was trying to click both. Okay. My turn. So he's basically a mini Command the Dreadhorde. Oh, John Sack. Can boop him back if I wanted. I have so much health. We're gonna keep going. Alright.